ॐ सर्वधर्मस्थापकत्वं सर्वधर्मस्वरूपकः आचार्याणां महाचार्यो रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Namaste, pranam. Can a man ever understand God's way? That is the question Sri Ramakrishna has put. And he had answered that we have so much limited knowledge. Our awareness of what is going on in the universe is so little, it is so meager. We are not able to understand God's ways. We think, oh, God is doing right, God is not doing right. We think God is unjust, we think God is biased, we think God is partial. But our understanding is so very poor. Our understanding is so very little of all the knowledge that God has in His realm. We don't even have a fraction of that knowledge, and we think we are Pandits. We think we are the great learned people. We think we are the all knowing Jivatmas. No, our knowledge is insignificant. How little we know. And then Sri Ramakrishna has posed that question. Can one seer pot hold 10 seers of milk? Impossible. A pot which capacity is just 1 seer, it is just 1 liter. If you try to put 10 liters of milk in that pot, can it hold? It can only hold 1 liter. That is our capacity. Our capacity to understand God's ways is so pathetic for that matter. We judge the world through our five senses. That's it. This is the yardstick for us to know what is around us. We see the world the way we can see. We hear what we can hear. Suppose tomorrow there was a sixth sense, we would have perceived the world in much different way than what we are perceiving today. That is the limitation of our knowledge. We cannot understand God's ways. And God's in His Leela. He creates this illusion in front of us. Like the moss on the surface of the water in the pond. Sri Ramakrishna had given that example also. The surface of the pond in water in the pond is filled with moss, filled with muck, filled with that algae. We can't see what is there inside the pond. You put a brickbat. For that moment, the moss will go away. You can see, oh, the water is so clear. But the next moment, the moss comes dancing back. That is the term Sri Ramakrishna had used. This ignorance comes dancing back. It doesn't come slowly. It doesn't come in a casual way. It doesn't come in an ordinary way. It comes dancing back. The illusion, it has a great moment of joy when it veils our intellect, when it veils our understanding, when it creates that knowledge barrier in front of us. It is so very happy. The Mahamaya comes dancing and puts that veil in front of us. So that is our unfortunate condition. We don't know anything, and still we consider ourselves to be the great doers. We consider ourselves to be the great knowers. We consider ourselves to be know all in all. That is the most unfortunate thing. And after discussing all these things with Sri M, then it was time for the evening service, evening prayers in the temple. And Master was, he also saw around, and then he came back to his room. He was sitting on the small coach in his room, in Master's room. In, those who have again seen Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna's room, there is one large bed and a small bed, that coach like. So while talking to devotees, Sri Ramakrishna used to sit on that coach, on that small bed, and he used to give his teachings. Now he was sitting over there, absorbed in contemplation on the Divine Mother, because the evening service was going on. His mind was towards the Mother. Several devotees also were there, and M was going to spend the night with the Master. It was one of those rare occasions M had decided to spend the night with the Master and keep on listening to those nectarine teachings of his. which later he was going to put down in his notebook. He was going to make a shorthand note of all the teachings of the master in that notebook. And in future, he was going to create that grand book of his, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, based on those notes that he had kept after meetings with Sri Ramakrishna. Now, a little later, Sri Ramakrishna began to talk to devotee privately on the veranda north of his room. Now, the veranda on north of his room, as the door on the northern side opens, you go to that northern veranda. Northern veranda is exactly opposite the Nahabat where our Ma used to stay. So there, the guru and the shishya, the teacher and the disciple, they are sitting in that northern veranda, and Sri Ramakrishna is telling Sri M something about the meditation. It was a private talk. I mean, it was a very specific, spatial instruction, one-to-one instruction from the teacher to the pupil, from the guru to the shishya. Sri Ramakrishna said, "It is good to meditate in the small hours of the morning, before it is dawn. It is good to meditate in the small hours of the morning and at dawn. Just before dawn, pre-dawn and at dawn. Wonderful time to meditate on the chosen deity, to meditate upon Ishta Devata, when the entire nature is so calm. The entire nature is filled with those spiritual vibes. That part of early dawn, pre-dawn, and the moment of dawn. One should also meditate daily after dusk. Now, these are the primary effective times to meditate: the pre-dawn and dawn, and after dusk. And even our Ma used to tell her disciples, her devotees, that one must meditate at least these two times, at the dawn and after the dusk. These are the best times, best periods of the day to put our mind on our chosen ideal, to contemplate on our chosen ideal, to commune with our deity. One should also meditate daily after dusk. So both morning and evening, these two meditations, these two contemplations are these two dhyana. At these two times is a must as per Sri Ramakrishna. And then he also told M about how to meditate upon the personal God and the impersonal reality. Now, we all know, we have read earlier also, that M had this tendency of meditating upon the formless aspect of the God. But Sri Ramakrishna also used to tell him, personal God is also true. It is not just formless God is true. It is not just formless aspect of the God is true. Even God with form is also true. So he told again to Sri M that one should meditate about over the personal God as well as the impersonal reality. Be a Dvaiti as well as an Advaiti. Don't become a hardcore, I'm only going to worship the formless aspect of the God. God with form is not real for me. Never have that attitude. You want to worship formless aspect? Worship formless aspect, but also know for sure God with form is also true. So on this particular occasion, Sri Ramakrishna told Sri M that one should meditate on personal God as well as the impersonal reality. And he introduced Sri M on how to do it. What that teaching was, that M has not recorded here because I think it was too personal instruction. And such kind of spiritual instructions, when they are too personal, people, the devotees, the aspirants, the knowers, they don't popularize them among the masses. So this is where Sri M, he just ends there, that one should meditate daily after dusk. He instructed the devotee about meditation on the personal God as well as the impersonal reality. And then after this teaching, the guru and the disciple, possibly they got down, they walked around, and then they came to the western semicircular porch on the western side facing the Ganges. Now, the pair of the Guru and the disciple, they were sitting there on the semicircular porch where the western door from Sri Ramakrishna's room opens, and it opens to the mighty Ganges. Hmm. After a time, he sat on the semicircular porch west of his room. It was 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock in the night, the Guru and the Shishya, they are engrossed in their spiritual talks. The Guru is engrossed in his nectarine teachings. And then Sri Ramakrishna says to them, those who come here will certainly have their doubts removed. What do you say? Hmm? Sri Ramakrishna has got this confidence that those devotees, those disciples who come to Sri Ramakrishna, they will have all their doubts cleared by the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna just asked M, because Sri Ramakrishna regarded M to be a man of great knowledge. So he asked him, "What do you say?" And then Sri M says, "That is true, sir." And as the talk was going on, they were facing the Ganges, the Guru and Shishya, and the boatmen were ferrying their boats on the waters of the Ganges. And one boatman started singing. A boat was moving in the Ganges far away from the bank. The boatman began to sing. Now it was dark. It was night. There was no noise around. And actually, at that point of time, the Dakshineshwar at 9 o'clock p.m., there would have been such a great amount of peace. No sounds anywhere, no hustle bustle anywhere, just the sound of nature. And under such conditions, that boatman, somewhere far away maybe, he started singing while ferrying his boat. The sound of his voice floating over the river reached the master's ears. He must have been singing some kind of a wonderful song. Now these people, these boatmen, when they sing beautifully. Hmm? It is their own melodious singing that actually it captures our mind. And that voice, that tune, it reached Sri Ramakrishna's ears, and he went into spiritual mood. The moment something of such nature, possibly he might have thought that, oh, some devotee is singing song. Chaitanya Deva is singing the glories of the God, and he would have associated this singing of that boatman with singing of some great devotee, and he went into the spiritual mood. He went into samadhi. Suddenly, hair on his body, they stood on end. Now, these are the typical signs. These are the typical signs when a devotee gets into spiritual mood, into a spiritual fervor. There is a horripilation. The hair, they stand at the end. Tears start flowing from eyes. These are all the symptoms when one gets into a spiritual mood. And Sri Ramakrishna had got into that mood now. And then Sri Ramakrishna, half conscious, half in that mood, he tells him, just feel my body. See, feel my hair is standing on its end. Just feel my body. And M was greatly amazed. M was greatly amazed to see this physical transformation when Sri Ramakrishna was in this spiritual mood. M was greatly amazed. He thought, the Upanishads describe Brahman as permeating the universe and the ether. Has that Brahman as sound? Has that Nada Brahma? Has that Brahman as sound touched the master's body? Master had got so much in the great spiritual fervor. The hair was standing at hand, and he was in his deep trance. At that time, after some time, Sri Ramakrishna again started talking to M. After that mood came down from that divine realm, when Sri Ramakrishna came down to the normal plane, again he started talking to Sri M. And then Master again says, same thing that he has said, that those who come here must have been born with good tendencies. Those who come here, those who want to listen to my teachings, those who want to listen to the ways to the God, how to reach God, how to get God enlightenment, how to get God realization, how to get self realization, all those Jivas who come here, they must have been born with good tendencies. Otherwise, the evil-minded, the wretched people, the bad people, the wild people, they won't come to listen to all these uplifting words, all these enlightening words, all these words who are going to take one to the path of spiritual illumination. Those people, they won't come. Only those who have good tendencies, who have got the tendency Godward, they would come here. Isn't that so? Again, he puts this question to Sri M. And Sri M says, true, sir. It is true, sir. And then suddenly Sri Ramakrishna starts talking about another of his very favorite and intimate disciple, Adhar. Other we had read earlier also, Sri Ramakrishna had visited other had visited Sri Ramakrishna. So suddenly Sri Ramakrishna started talking about Adhar. Adhar must have good tendencies. Adhar was also such a great disciple of Sri Ramakrishna that he used to imbibe those words that Sri Ramakrishna used to pour out, and he used to carry them in his heart. So other Sri Ramakrishna says, when people come of good tendencies come here to listen to my words, other must also have good tendencies. And Sri M says that goes without saying. He's such a fine gentleman. He's such a fine devotee. He's such a fine disciple of yours. It goes without saying. And then Sri Ramakrishna pointing to others some of the qualities. Now Sri Ramakrishna is saying, a guileless man easily realizes God. Now these are some prerequisites. These are some telltale signs that people carry with them that we can make out they are going to realize God. Guileless mind, a childlike mind, a simple mind, the mind which has no caveat in it, which has no jealousy, which has no hatred, which is free from all those fetters. That guileless mind can easily realize God. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, in this creation, in this world, there are two paths, the path of righteousness and the path of wickedness. We see every day, we see every now and then people treading these two paths, a path of righteousness and a path of wickedness. Now, what is Sri Ramakrishna's opinion about these paths? He says one should follow the path of righteousness. One should never follow the path of wickedness. One should never follow the path of unrighteousness. One should never follow the path of evil, the path of wickedness. No, that path is not for the spiritual aspirants at all. Let them shun away that path. Just take the path of righteousness. Take the path of honesty. Take the path of sincerity. Take the path of great yearning towards God. And once you are on that path, of righteousness, God cannot be far away from you. Then Sri Ramakrishna comments that how we should throw out this wickedness, how we should throw out this path of wickedness. Sri Ramakrishna says, if a man finds a hair in the food he is chewing, he spits out the entire morsel. We are eating something, suddenly a piece of hair comes, we notice, oh, there is a hair in the morsel that I have eaten. Now, is it that I just start taking out that hair and throw it? No. I throw out the entire morsel. I throw out whatever portion of food I have, I just throw it out along with the hair. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says, when it comes to wickedness, be like that. Just don't throw out one or two signs of wickedness. Throw the entire wickedness out. Throw that entire path of wickedness out. That path is not yours. You are a person, you are a child of God. Stick to the path of righteousness and throw away that path of unrighteousness, like we throw off the entire morsel, the entire portion of food that we are chewing. If it has a hair, it is not that we only take out hair from our mouth and throw it. We throw out the entire portion, throw out the wickedness in its entirety, throw out the unrighteousness in its entirety, throw out the evil in its entirety, and Just stick to the good, stick to the pious, stick to the holy, stick to the righteousness, path of righteousness, and go Godward. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.